We got here. I've got no excuses. I haven't even got an explanation. I haven't even got an explanation. I just kept not being able to do it. I was like, why is that not working? Why is that not working? I'll put the music on, but I haven't got any milk. I'm not gonna comb my hair. I'm gonna see if I can get the missus to comb my hair while I'm sitting here. But we'll have the music on quietly. Can you let me know you can hear the music and still hear me talking, or is it too competitive? Let me know. Is that working out nicely? Have I mixed it? Is it like a nine? Do you remember in the 1980s? Well, the three of us who watched this who were alive then, when they spoke, they just used to drag the fader down while they spoke, and then they moved it back up when they weren't speaking. RMF has told me it's fine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lovely. So here we are. Oh, I'll tell you what, wasn't it a good bonus stream last night? I was very impressed with that. Now, the problem with being impressed with something in my life is you think it might be quite a good idea to go down your mate's little boozer down there. Your mate that you give an ounce of your amnesia haze to because you're too old for it and have never paid for a drink in there since. And so that had its problems. I've got to get a comb. I can't look at that. Darling, you going to comb my hair, love? There you go. That's what you want, isn't it? There you go. Go on, love. Bit of that. Bit of that. That's abs. I've got some pomade there. Look, you bought the pomade. Pomade. Why didn't you put any pomade on your fingers? Look, I'll put the pomade on. Well, hang on. I'll put the pomade on. Look, hang on. Right, now you go for it. Now it's going to look absolutely beautiful. I'm going to look like a distinguished man of elegance. What are you doing? Just stroking pomade off. Yeah, it would appear you seem to like the word pomade.
Pomade.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Do you know what pomade is?
Pomade.
You can't just keep. So what are you stroking my forehead for?
Lovely.
It's lovely, is it? Do you like my forehead? Or is it the smell of the pomade?
Pomade.
So you don't like my head? That's weird. I quite like it when you give me head. Very handsome, very handsome. So lovely to see so many here early. It was an interesting bonus stream. I was. Thank you, darling. Yeah. See, I'd have put a bit of pomade on that. No, we don't worry about it. Go on then, take them away. Thank you, love. That's better. That's like a different person. Yeah, no, you don't want to be putting that pomade in your hair. Okay, you many. What? Okay. Well, this is the thing. I am, and well, a bit of bad news actually. I'm going to slightly encrypt it because it's not. I don't want her to think. Well, I don't want her to know that I'm broadcasting news. Nice one, Alan. Good morning, my friend, to you. I'll get that grift on actually right now. Hope you're all right. Grandmother, I think she's about 107. I really think she is. Hey, darling! Darling!
What?
Darling, how old is Grandma?
Grandma, you're 100 years.
No, you told me she was more than 100.
Yeah.
How old is she?
I call mom.
You don't know, do you?
Yeah, me, I don't know.
Okay. I'll tell you what, there's some weird things
Yeah,
in...
mom, tell me before I can.
Okay, there's some weird things in Cambodian culture. They've got these massive families, like massive, 40, 50 strong. And they all live in little plots of land. And it's lovely, you know, there's like a little plot of land at the edge of a jungle or something. And you'll say, who's that? And it'll be like, that's my mum's sister's daughter, which we'd call a niece, right? And you go, oh, nice. And you know, she'll come up to my missus and she'll make her a cup of tea in the morning, and she'll go through her hair, sort of like picking out bits, like, you know, grooming and stuff. And I'm looking at the niece thinking, she's quite hot, actually. And then I'll say to my missus, I'll say, what's her name? And she'll go, I don't know. And I'll say, what? Hang on, how long have you lived in this place with her? She'll go, oh, about 4 or 5 years. But when you don't know her name, and she'll go, nah. It's really weird, and it's not peculiar to their family. You get it everywhere. You know, I've been to other Cambodian families, and the things that we consider standard behavior, they just haven't got a clue. Now, does that make is it a question of them being better or us being better, or is it not a question of being better or worse, or just a question of priorities? You know, they'll do anything for each other, this lot, but they just don't there's certain things that just don't concern them. Like when she introduced me to her sisters, right? I'm not going to give you the real names, but I'm going to give you slightly real names. So she introduced me to one of her sisters, right? And it's Bomb Known, right? Bomb Known. And that ain't far off the actual name. I just don't want to dox her. I don't want to make it Facebookable. And so I said, oh, okay, it's Bomb Known. And so when I meet her, I go, hello, Bomb Known. And she's like, oh, hello, Chris. Hello, you know, a little bit of English. And then the other one is Fright, right? I know it's a weird one, but that is very similar to what it is. This is Fright. And there's another one, Natty, which is a strange Cambodian name. And then there's my missus, right? And then I said to my missus, you're going to need a passport. If you're going to come to England with me, this was all pre-COVID. If you're going to come to England with me, you're going to have to get a passport. So we've turned up at the passport office, and she's got all her documents. And her name, I've been with her at this time, but by this time I'd been with her for about 2 years, right? Calling her by her name, which all her family call her, by the way. Everyone calls her this name, but it's not the name on her identification card. It's not the name on all her bits of paper and her birth certificate. It's just a different name. I'm like, why have you got a different name though? Why have you got a different name? She went, I like it. And I went, yeah, but who gave you it? Did you just choose it? She went, no, it just sort of happened. And then I'm like, what about Bomone? Is that her name? And she's like, nah, not on her identification thing. It's not. And I said, so what's her real name? And she went, I don't know. I went, hang on, she's your sister. You've known her for 23 years. You don't know her real name. She went, yeah, it's Bomone. I went, yeah, but it isn't, is it? That's not on her ID card. That's not on her official documents. And she went, yeah, but it's her name, innit? And Freud as well. What's her real name? Don't know. They just don't know the names. They don't know the names of their own children sometimes. Now, it's not because they're neglecting each other or anything. It's just it's a different thing to them, and I think it's to do with the. I've got to be very careful here. I'm a guest in this country. I am a second rate. I'm a second class citizen in this country. I do what I'm told out here. I expect to be treated like a second class citizen, and it's a privilege to be allowed here. And I say all that because I have to, but I also say all that because I mean it. You know, what a weird thing to actually mean all that compared with the visitors in Europe. I should be second class because this isn't my land. These aren't my lands. These aren't my cultures. These aren't my peoples. My blood isn't their blood. And so I've got to be a little bit careful. But what you got to remember is everyone here over 30, 35, they witnessed a genocide. They witnessed the mass slaughter of millions of people. A lot of it done by children, because Big Brother number one, Mr. Pot, we'll call him. Hello, Zabo. He thought that the children weren't stained by capitalism, so he had them doing the interrogations and the torturing and the murdering, and it's dark, man. There's some museums here, and they've still got the Tom Seng torture museum, and it's been kept as it was. You know, car batteries with wires, with crocodile clips, and some of the most horrific instruments you ever seen. And these were put into the hands of 4 and 5 year olds, and they were ranked as well. You know, you'd have a 6-year-old who was a captain, and then it would go down and that until you had the privates at the bottom, and they gave orders, that they didn't go to an adult and say, "Oh, excuse me, adult, we've got a problem." No, they were considered the authority, and they had to sort it out. And that you wanna think about Lord of the Flies? Fucking hell, the stuff that went on here. So anyone over 35 has witnessed that, and you know the amount. Before that, what would we call all that? We'll call it the genocide. We'll call it what it was. Before the genocide, it was traditional to have between 10 and 15 children each. Everyone I've spoke to is like, how many brothers and sisters, how many siblings did you have? And it would be like, oh, there was 13 of us, or there was 10 of us, or... And you know, I talked to my girlfriend's grandmother. How many children did you have? 13. You know, in the days when you wanted to reproduce enough of your people to keep them strong and powerful, and keep them part of the land that is theirs. And the amount of people I've spoken to who've then said, and they come out of the genocide with, like, they're the only ones surviving. They lost 13 siblings, or they lost 12 siblings. Can you imagine? And to children done it to them because they weren't stained by capitalism. And these sorts of stories, these are the truths of communism. This is what really gets me. You know, when I was a young, angry and arrogant and stupid man, I made excuses for communism. But now I'm an adult, and now I've found out a little bit more about it. I just, you know, the fact that there's adults older than me, tenured professors at universities passing this bullshit on to children as a utopia where we're all equal, Well, you're not all equal, actually. You're all dead. You're all tortured. You know, you're all having your eyes plucked out by your own siblings, things like that. There's photos of that sort of thing happening. You know, and if you didn't do it, you got an electric shock that was pushed into your spine, through the skin. And it, you know, it shocks me. It shocks me that there's this, you know, the global machine is all over nationalism as a movement, that they're turning up at people's houses and taking their computers and shutting down accounts and shutting down bank accounts and all that. And the communists who, you know, the Gulag Archipelago, think about that. Think about Mao's China. Think about Pol Pot. It's a disgrace. All I see is romantic communist culture. I see the motorcycle diaries about this really cool, handsome young doctor who just wanted to treat the poor, driving his motorbike through his beloved nation. And he was actually a homophobic racist who was actually bloodthirsty and just wanted to kill people. But they don't tell you that story because to uphold. It really is quite shocking. Right, let's get that grift on. Right, hang on, let's sort this out. So I have to open a new page. Thank you, Alan. I haven't forgotten that one. And I'll get the old Twitch going over here. Oh, multitasking. Oh, you know, we talk about entrepreneurship on this channel and getting financial independence and passive revenue streams. Something I forgot to mention the other day is what the hell is going on here? Oh my God, that ain't right at all. 1 minute. We might have a collision with reality here. What? Oh my God, they might have finally punished me. No, that should be all right. Good Lord. I mean, this is what you pay for, though, isn't it? No, neither of those. I want to log into about 30 of them. Anyway, we got there in the end, people. We got there in the end. But the bonus stream was a real laugh. I had a look back at it, and it was some proper surrealism. I was giggling myself, which is quite rare, you know, because when you were there doing it yourself, you don't really get the jokes because you were there doing it yourself. But I was having quite a laugh. If you didn't see it last night, the bonus stream, I do suggest you watch it. It's not long, and it's it's all over the shop. Rags is there. He's all right. Yeah. He's asking me if I'd like a nickname. Who loves you, baby? Well, Kojak I do. Kojak I do. Who loves you, baby? Who wrote that? We're a lolly. What a character. Right, nearly there, people, nearly there. Won't take much longer. Whoa, Martin Davies drops a Lady Godiva right on time. And he says this, and I've read the first few letters. Thank you, Alan. I've read the first few letters, and I can completely identify with you, Martin. And I reckon we'll get a little survey from the scrubs. First of all, Martin, thank you for the $5. That's always appreciated. He says, as an ex-socialist, I feel guilty that I spouted defense of all these type of people. I find it so frustrating that people still feel for all this crap. Yeah. You know, the old no true Scotsman, that weren't proper communism. Well, the one I was taught to say was communism is an international project. And so, of course, the Soviet example failed, the Chinese example failed, because the capitalists, you know, they crushed it, they defeated it to stop it becoming a global utopia. Yeah, that's what it was, because the capitalists had a hell of a lot to do with the starvation of the Ukrainian and the other Soviet people. Oh, hang on a minute. What's that you say? What is it? PJ Morgan funded them. They actually funded the Soviet Revolution, which is an interesting take on that bullshit. But yeah, but Martin, with regret. I mean, you didn't say regret. You said guilty. And I'm going to take that guilt away from you right now. I'm going to put my hands. I've missed Linda Hunter's super chat apparently. Yeah, but you watch our magic. No, I haven't. I'm just being magical. I'm going to remove it from you, Martin. So stand tall. Feel the heat around your head. The only thing you can do now about that is spread that different message. That's all you can do. There's nothing else you can do. The past has gone. The past has gone. The past has happened. There's nothing you can do. But in the present, you can spread that message. When you've rocked up at some ketamine squat party and luckily there's no ropes around or anywhere to hang yourself because you're at a ketamine squat party, you can actually just outright say to people it's murderous bullshit. And you know, and if you were a socialist, as you say you were, you know your numbers, you know your examples, you know how the economy works. You probably know the Mises debunking of the socialist theory of value, which is just priceless. Literally and figuratively priceless. If you don't have a market, you don't get to regulate the value of things. And if you don't get to regulate the value of things, how the hell do you plan long term? Because you don't know how much anything's worth. You don't know how much of anything you've got. And it just can't work. Whenever I think of that, I think of a couple of kids at the seaside, like putting sand into their little buckets and then putting it on the thing, and then the sea comes in and just brushes it off, and they sort of look at it and they can't work out why, so they do it again and again and again and again, and they only stop when their mother tells them to come home and have a corned beef and sand sandwich. You know, I'd be there at parties, just letting people know the good news of communism. And it's just absurd. It's not even like, it's not even like you're talking about wars where they've invaded other countries and tried to, the history of the world is a history of a struggle for resources. I'll give you that. I accept that, and it is today, and it always will, almost certainly always will be in some form or another. But when your own people can't feed themselves because of the way you're organising or by the way you're not organising your economy, should I say, that's not a struggle for resources, that's a struggle for power. And when you're killing millions of children on the back of a struggle for power, you're filth. You're absolute filth. And to sit at parties and tell people that, and to pass this stuff on to young women, which they always do, that's their game. And I'll tell you what, I have nearly come to blows with countless blokes when I've been at parties and there's a geezer in the back with his silly long hair, about 40 years old. And he smells of patchouli, and he's got all these little things to go around his neck. And he's sort of saying, the difference is communism treats everyone equally. And I'm thinking, no, the difference is communism seeks to equate everyone to the lowest common denominator. And I'll just go in and I'll say, why are you telling this child about one of the most murderous, bloodthirsty ideologies history has ever known? And he'll go, what are you now gonna defend Nazis? And I'll say, I don't need to defend Nazis. Even at their most extreme, we could say 20 million. Let's say 30 million. Let's say 40 million. Let's say 50 million. The communists are in the 400 millions of their own people. They were putting posters up saying, don't eat your dead children because you'll get diseased. And you're telling this girl this is the way to go. You're telling this young girl to shave her head, this beautiful young girl. You're taking away her power, her beauty, her feminine beauty, which she can use in a relationship with a man who's got his own masculine powers, and together that masculine and feminine combination can create family and create children, create communities, and actually make a place worth living. And you're trying to take that away from her for some utopia that has failed again and again and again and again. 2/3 of the world has given communism a go, and 2/3 of the world has failed it. It doesn't work. It's not about equality. It's not about utopia. It's about power. And it's just the most disguised version of power ever presented. And also the other classic thing with communism is the working classes let the communists down all the time. The working classes were expected to rise up all the time. Whenever Marx said, whenever things got to breaking point, the working classes were going to stand up, get together as a unit and fight the ruling classes. And they never did. Because weirdly, even in the capitalist systems of the 19th and 20th century, even the poorest of the poor had a roof over their head, warmth and food. And that's your worst example of capitalism. Whereas in your best examples of communism, they didn't even have that. The fucking evil people. Evil. Power hungry. Thank you, Martin. Good call that was. Excuse me, people. Some days over here you got to do about 3 of these a day, or you'll know about it. Linda Hunter rhymes with Shunter. Thank you, Linda. She says, hello, Christopher, darling. All right there. Hola, scrub migos. So you're doing week's Italian, didn't we? Took about, what, a week? And I think that was a combination of our teaching method, the repeater file teaching method, and also the scrub's desire to learn a new language. So I'm getting the feeling you're trying to, you're hinting, you're dropping hints. They want us to learn a bit of Espanol. Now, for those of you who don't know, that means English in Spanish. Okay? It's a good start, isn't it? Hello, Glassy. Hang on a minute. I don't know what to... Be careful. Right, hang on a minute. I've got a funny feeling Field Marshal Browning has dropped a couple. Al Mac watched the Whispering stream this morning. Good. Mega Essex Boy says big move for the Woodland style. Don't know what that means, but I certainly saw him tell a story, and I said you need to be doing more of these. These are great, and he has done, and they are great. He's got a lovely accent, hasn't he? Got a lovely meter to his voice. Well, I don't know where Dawn Browning's cheeky tenor's gone. Well, I'll read it out just in case I can't. Oh, there it is. Dawn Browning, Field Marshal, says this. This would appear to be a slight dig at young Rags. I don't know. I get a bit funny when exceptionally high-ranking scrubs are fighting amongst each other. Ask Rags if he crushed all the cheese and onion crisps in the bag he was using as a pillow at 2:30 a.m. Good Lord. Good Lord. Come on. We're meant to be improving our lives, not shocking ourselves. He, Mrs. Me in it, and I were having a lovely 2-hour chat via Telegram till we lost him to the buzz. He's on some kind of medicine because he's got 101 ailments. That's the name of Rags' band, if you don't know that. Rags has got a band, the 101 Ailments. Well, let's ask him. Rags, this is Earth calling Rags. This is YouTube calling Twitch. YouTube calling Twitch. Did you all the cheese and onion crisps that are in the bag you were using as a pillow to he, you, Mrs. Minute, and I were having a lovely 2-hour chat via Telegram until we lost him to the buzz. Oh, no, not the buzz, because I can't see it. You've got the ZZZs, haven't you? till you lost him to sleep. Oh no, Pete, they really have. Pete on Twitch says Dangerfield streams have been all over the place time wise. And he also says he sounds smashed this morning. Yeah, no, I know I do. I'm not going to deny that. Or is it my hearing? No, my missus has already said that to me today. She's watching me like a hawk. But you know, no, I've never been NA clean. I've never been NA clean. But because yesterday I was so chuffed that, do I really need to mention that this 4-week project is over? And because the bonus stream went so well and I was so happy and it was really nice to be around the scrubs, I went down my little mate's bar and so I'm not feeling particularly... I'm still feeling very positive, and you know, to have got that project out the way, and I got the Crack Diaries is in 3 parts. I got the first part, the Crack Diaries, back transcribed. So now all I have to do is read that and edit it, give it back to the editor. He does a second edit. That's ready to publish. So they'll be coming out in 3 parts, and he's also doing my other 150 stories. So I reckon if I can get this other fucking novel finished this year, I'm going to be able to get a mega novel of about 400 words published. I'm going to get the 3-part Crack Diaries published. And you're going to get all the stuff that I didn't tell you, which actually happened, stuff that I just forgot or had to leave out because it had gone on for too long, and probably 3 or 4 books of shorts. Now the beautiful thing about that, as Illuminatus will now be banging his head on the table, is in the back of the first one I release, I can advertise the ones coming up with discount codes, and ones out later at the back I can advertise ones that have already come out with discount codes. So if people buy a book and they like it, there's discount codes for them to go and buy other books of mine. So I'm in a really good mood. I've got I fucked up in life. I got my head down. I realised that sometimes desperation is a gift. And I improved as a person. I used that disaster to make something happen, and now I've got me novels sorting themselves out. And also, we got a new project now. I don't know if you know, but there's a new YouTube thing called YouTube Shorts, and as an internet marketer, it's great to have a new platform to be marketing on. So I'll be getting a new phone off the business, which would be nice because my iPhone 7 is just not up to scratch for making. I need a 1080 or at least a 4K. I don't know. At least a 1080 though. So I'll be getting a new blower, so that'll be nice as well. So the answer is, Dawn, unless he's told you himself, he doesn't know. Talking about roads, Mega Essex boy, when you going for a drive again, sir? When you going to go for a drive again? No pressure, just ask. Feel the boudoir? with ladies of easy leisure. Fill the boot with foods, couple of little hexy burners, plenty of water. Get some Librium, get some lithium. I can actually talk to my GP in Soho and find out exactly what you want to stop the spider hallucinations. Have you ever had them? Give me a 1 in the chat if you've ever detoxed from alcohol and you've seen all the spiders coming out the corners of the room and out of all the cracks in the wall. Give me a 1 if you've ever detoxed alcohol and seen all the spiders coming out the cracks in the wall and or any of those sort of right angle places in your house. It's fucking unpleasant. No, just me then. Obviously, there you go. Paul knows it. Napa knows it. Rags knows it. It's not nice, is it? Yeah, nightmares and sweats. It's awful. Seen the spiders on morphine. That's interesting. I haven't had that on morphine. I've never detoxed from morphine. Whenever I've had to use morphine before I've ever stopped, I've got on the heroin because I know that withdrawal. I don't want to learn new things. Not when I'm withdrawing. It's quite weird, isn't it? I literally want to learn old things. But plenty of people have known that. Dangerfield, are you going to the Reading Festival? I'm 48. No, I will not be going to. Is it? I've never been to Reading. I need grass to park my tent that I won't be sleeping in because I'll be sped out of my nut for 5 days solid. Good Lord. I can't believe who's just turned up. Hello, Albert. I am on Odyssey, but it's going to take about a week for them to confirm that my Dangerfield account is my Odyssey account so that they can, what do they call it? Integrate them. And then I'll be on Odyssey because I heard that they'll be live streaming. And once Odyssey start live streaming, I still will live stream on YouTube, but they'll probably be my primary place because fuck these people. But nice to see you, Albert. An absolute pleasure. Been a while. How are you getting on out there in the UAE? I know that isn't where you are, but I know you are on that manor. James Hayworth says, love spiders. Yeah, I'm not sure you would when you see them crawling out of the bits in between your toes. They're not so good then. Visionary Companion said, my dad's friend called them woolly worms. I remember my father was weeping when he found a photo of the guy when he was young. I'll tell you something a bit, well, not a bit. Mega Essex Boy dropped 5 New Zealand dollars and said, everyone listen to Bernard Cribbins. Right, said Fred. Best 3 minutes ever. Love all. Well, I don't usually do requests, but you're pretty good with this kind of stuff. So let's have a look. We'll have a look. I mean, we might not get the full 3 minutes. And this already looks like it's going to be amazing. Before we get into that, though, we're done browning. Done Mega Essex boy. Albert Ross, good to see you, mate. Done Albert Ross. What's going on here then? Hang on, we're on that one. That's okay. Yeah, but the problem, James, the problem is the spiders that you see when you're hallucinating coming off of alcohol. The problem is they're not real. They're symbolic, and symbolic is terrifying because they're not spiders. They represent something, and they represent something to do with fear and to do with the powerlessness of fear. There's an old psychotherapist joke when the analyzed and is in there and the therapist is in there, and the analyzed and keeps looking around like sort of a bit jittery, and the therapist says, "Are you seeing spiders?" And the analyzed and says, "Yeah, I am. Yeah." And the therapist said, "Don't worry, they're real." Because a real spider is no problem. It's just a spider, but a symbolic representation of a trauma that you are that you at least feel powerless against is probably one of the most frightening things in life. You know, do you remember when you were a child, right? Let's go back to when you're 5 or 6 years old, probably a bit earlier than that if we look at the Lacanian model of the sort of development of language. You know, do you remember when you were a child, there's certain things that scare you? It might be a piece of music. I say that because it was for me and my brother. It might be an outfit your nan wears occasionally. It could be an ad. You know, it could be so many weird and wonderful and bizarre and seemingly arbitrary things. But when you witness them, when they enter into your consciousness, it's terrifying. Give me a 1 if you know what I'm talking about. Give me a 1. I did like your fiver, Mega Essex boy. What are you talking about? I even said thanks for your New Zealand fiver. And I said, everyone listen to Bernard Cribbins, and we're going to get there in a minute. I've got it up on the next screen. Calm yourself down, son. Put that fucking booze down. I'll tell you what, me and you are going to have problems. Well, the problems are going to be you with the police and me with the hospital, but that's still me and you having problems. Give me a 1 if you remember what I'm talking about. Those fears, those things, those symbolic things that as a child just terrified you beyond the limits of you being able to do anything about it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what that symbolic relationship is to something. Yeah, I'm glad a few of you got it. Because oh, look at that. That's a really dark one. For me and sister, it was a china doll with blonde braids and staring eyes. Look at that. How weird is that? Very strange little thing. And the weird thing about them is they're almost sort of they kind of appeal to you. You sort of want to. You want to kind of get to know them a bit more, you know. And I'm sure it's a sexuality thing, you know. I'm sure it's something to do with sexuality because it's got that life and death cycle about it all in one. it's got that ability to make life and that ability to make death, which a 4-year-old doesn't really want to have to cope with. Magic roundabout theme tune used to do me. Well, at this stage, I'd like to say no one mentioned the crystal boucher. Yeah, I'm glad plenty of you got that. Well, Gaffney, it's usually those that fail to recognise them that are still being affected by them. So, crack on. You won't beat me, mate. Well, hark at this one, people. This is disgusting. Motivated Roswell says, a witch would regularly kidnap me in a reoccurring dream when I was young, would fly around cackling, with me hanging on the broomstick for dear life. Oh, not a dream I miss. I think I've asked this one before, but the old flying dream where you can actually fly. But the thing is, it's not like Superman. It's not like it's more like you're in water. It's more like you just sort of gently sort of push yourself up and you can do the odd sort of flashy little turn and that, but it's a lot more calm. What are you talking about, Batch? Did I miss yours, Batch? This ain't me. This is StreamYard playing up because I'm keeping an eye out all over these. And I read yours. Mega Ethics Boy, and we're about to play. I'm sorry, Batch. I just literally didn't see yours, and I still haven't, and it ain't over on Entropy either, which is really annoying because I don't want to upset people. But we'll have a look at this this thing that Mega Ethics Boy suggested we watch. So let's have a look at this. Oh no. But do you get the bit? Do you get the payoff where when you land, you're all right? You land and you're like, hang on a minute, I've pulled it off. Whereas on the way down, you're like, I'm dead. I am dead. And then when you hit the deck, you're like, oh, didn't see that coming, did they? Absolutely superb. CC, why do people bother asking that question? It changes every 3 sentences. Oh my God. Oh, as a psychoanalyst, that has really changed things. Oh my God. So the dream stops. You just wake up, or you just forget about it. You fall off a building. You're terrified, and then you just kind of breeze out of the dream. Wow, that is quite something. Wow, Griff has the same dream. It's more floating than flying. I don't know who you're saying it the same dream to. Me doing the sort of almost underwater flying, or Hack 61's falling off a building, but the dream doesn't stop. Thank you, Linda Hunter. Can anyone remember a trilogy of terror, particularly the Tiki doll that came alive and went on a stabbing spree? No. I can't. You wake up as you hit the deck, so you're saved from that's quite interesting actually. That's your unconscious is 100% saving you from, you know, dreams are made up of unresolved traumas. That's what they are, if you want to take that route. And what that dream is doing at the end, the bit where the trauma should be revealed to you, and then you should be over it. You're not being given that. Your brain is still deciding that the trauma that you're covering up is still too painful to deal with. Very interesting, and very honest of you as well, which was much appreciated. Right, let's have a look at Right Said Fred by Bernard Cribbins, and I've got to say, it looks absolutely fantastic. Where's Batch's donation? How comes I've got everyone else, but there's a big guy on Batch. Can't find anything down there. Right, here we go then. Cribbins is hilarious. Underrated actor as well, not just comedy actor. But this looks brilliant. Good find so far. I hope it pays off. I just fell asleep, people. I full on fell asleep. all Hack 61 talking about falling asleep and that. I just went. Right, here we go. Bernard Cribbins, Right Said Fred. Which is weird because isn't that the name of a band rather than a song? But hardly matters. Here we go. I think that's you behind me was saying. No, I can't be bothering that one up. Here we go. Let me just check we got the audio. I will be talking to her about this because this is getting ridiculous. Here we go.
Right said Fred, both of us together, one each end and steady as we go. Tried to shift it, couldn't even lift it. We was getting nowhere, and so we had a cup of tea. And right said Fred, give a shout for Charlie. Up comes Charlie from the floor below. After straining, even and complaining, we was getting nowhere, and so we had a cup of tea. And Charlie had a think, and he thought we ought to take off all the handles and the things what held the candles. But it did no good, well, I never thought it would. All right, said Fred, have to take the feet off to get them feet off, wouldn't take a mo. Took its feet off, even took the seat off. Should have got us somewhere, but no. So Fred said, let's have another cup of tea. And we said, righto. All right, said Fred, have to take the door off. Need more space to shift the so-so. Had bad twinges, taking off the hinges, and it got us nowhere, and so we had a cup of tea. And right said Fred, have to take the wall down, that there wall is gonna have to go. took the wall down. Even with it all down, we was getting nowhere. And so we had a cup of tea, and Charlie had a think, and he said, look, Fred, I got a sort of feeling if we remove the ceiling with a rope or two, we could drop the bladder through. All right, said Fred, climbing up a ladder with his crowbar, gave a mighty blow. Was he in trouble? Half a ton of rubble landed on the top of his dome. So Charlie and me had another cup of tea, and then we went home. I said to Charlie, we'll just have to leave it standing on the landing, that's all. You see, the trouble with Fred is he's too hasty. Now, you never get nowhere if you're too hasty.
England was a remarkable place. I like the way old Mega Essex boy puts that on in the last two lines of, all the trouble is he was too wasted, and you never get anywhere when you're too wasted. Oh, England, England, what did you do to us? There you go. Anyway, people, me and the missus, we're going to get on the old moto. We're going to go for a drive up the Mekong. We're going to go and watch the blokes doing some fishing, see if they can hook anything out of there. It's quite exciting. I don't know if you're lurking, Ted, but what we've been doing, we've been getting up where they fish. And there are people up where you said, where there's that little bit where the two rivers join, the Mekong and the Tonle Sap. And it's obviously stirring up the silt at the bottom, creating food for the fish. When you fish in England, I used to fish as a young man in England. I know what a bream looks like. I know what a carp looks like. I was a freshwater fisher. But even sea fishing, I know what, sea fish look like because I've seen enough documentaries on it. But out here, when he spins that lure out or that spinner, and and then they all start, and you can see it heading for the bushes. They're all going mad. They're grabbing all the nets and things and getting all the forceps. Plays it in about 25, 30 minutes. Fuck me. It's as if he's fishing in another galaxy. The thing that comes out of that water is like, not sure fish are meant to have 5 feet. I'm not sure fish are meant to have human noses. It's quite the thing. It's quite bizarre to see fish that you've got no recollection of at all. I saw a barracuda get caught out in Thailand once, and that was quite something. Barracuda about that long, beautiful. Beautiful blue, sort of almost camouflage blue, various forms of blue. Well, the Chinese did try and dam the rivers, but the Mekong goes through like 5 countries. And there's only so much of the Mekong you can dam before it will destroy your land. Because what happens is you dam it, but then that water starts building up under the dam. And that's a lot of water. You're looking at water that goes through China, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Laos. It's a lot of water. So I'm no expert on, what would we call that, hydrogeology. Well, we're calling it that now, but I think it done more damage than good in the end, because it's a beast. The Mekong's a beast. It's a and then of course in rainy season you might be able to prep it for dry season. But in rainy season, I could try keeping that. Yeah, no, there's something about that reminds me of my childhood and that arbitrary connection to some kind of symbolic fear. The idea of banning, damming something like the Mekong. How clean are the rivers in Cambodia? Well, when we go out to the provinces, sometimes we jump in the back of a tuk-tuk because all a tuk-tuk is a thing with seats in it that you can clip onto a motorbike. So at most of the houses have one because you can get them for about $500, and a lot of people make them themselves. They carve them all with they're hand wood carved, all beautiful, nice leather seats and that. You can get about 8 people in one at a push, and if you've got a few kids, you can get like 11, 12, 13 in. And so we go out somewhere into the paddy fields and all that, and then there'll be a big lake, and everyone gets out of the tuk-tuk, takes off a few items of clothes, but not all of them. That's another weird thing out here. People don't go skinny dipping or anything. I don't know if it's a Buddhist thing or whatever, but that even the blokes will leave a t-shirt on or a pair of trousers, and they all just go and jump in the river and swim. And then while you're in there, someone tells you a 13-foot snake came out of this river just last week, and you go, excellent, take me home. So there you go. All right, people, I do apologise if I missed a couple of super chats. We didn't quite reach minimum wage, but we might have done if I hadn't missed any. But we did have a good stream this morning, so between them, I think I'm happy with that. We've had a couple of nice streams today. I won't be doing one tonight because the girlfriend, that's what I didn't tell you. The girlfriend's grandmother, the Buddhists are all there. There's 5 Buddhists, 5 Buddhas. Buddha didn't want to make Buddhists. He didn't want to make people who followed Buddha. He wanted to make Buddhas. The idea was to make people like him, to make Buddhas. And there's 5 or 6 Buddhas all sleeping around at the house, which is usually part of the journey from life to death, and then the process of deciding whether she's going to come back to life again or whether she's going to end up in nirvana, which will be like being at the Reading Festival watching them play In Bloom 30,000 times. So in many ways, you're probably better off coming back. It's been an absolute pleasure, people. I'm in such a good mood. I'm over a really bad period in my life. Don't get me wrong, first world problems. I know a lot of you have had deaths in the family. I know a lot of you have got a lot of sickness and things going on, and even the story I just told you about my girlfriend's, she's the matriarch of a 40 strong family, and if she dies, which it looks like she will, that's serious. But this has been difficult for me, and I made it worse for myself, and I'm finally out of it. I'm coming back to life. I'm getting a bit more sleep. I'm starting to feel myself again a bit more. And I want to thank you because without a doubt, you have helped me. You people have certainly helped me. Being able to come here and talk to you occasionally has been wonderful. And I also want to thank the people that get busy on the community stream, because with all the people that are attacking us at the moment, all the people that are attacking the channel, they're having their slow effects. But we can do something about it, and I've got a few things on the written down that will do well. We'll be up to 30,000 subscribers again by, I'd say, about August or September. We'll be up to 30,000 subscribers, but I do need your help, and I do, and you people are really helping with the community thing. When I say leave a comment or a like and reply and all that, and then sometimes I go there and there's like 120, and thank you very much. You know, I've asked you to do something. I know that a lot of you aren't sure why, and you do it because we help each other around here. So it's a very nice thing for you to do, and it's very touching. Right, 1 second. Like I say, there won't be a stream later because she's going to the provinces tomorrow, and she'll probably be going up there for a couple of weeks at least. So I won't be seeing her for a couple of weeks. Now, the bad news for you is you don't get a stream tonight, but the good news for you is because she'll be away for a couple of weeks, you will get a stream in the morning and the evening, and the odd bonus one, maybe 3 or 4 a day. Occasionally, I can't set that up for the minute, but I will do that, just Sean, but I can't set it up now. So there'll be plenty of streams over the next few weeks. Look after yourselves, people. Look after the people you love. Let them know you love them, because however much you tell them, they need telling more, and they need telling why as well. It really helps them. Take care, people. Ta-da!
All the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. The joy of loving is to live in the world of man. There's someone who's waiting for you. Soon the world will be yours for a toy. Music starts to play, night will turn to day, darkness disappears when yours.
What the hell is happening there? Hang on. Ta-da. Here we go. Thank you, Albert. Much appreciated. And lovely to see you back as well.
Every land of man to know. Joy of loving is to live in the world of man. There's a place that is waiting for you, a world where the best in life is free, where time is always spring, happiness is king, the dreams you dream come true when the one you love loves you. You're in man.
Enjoy the rest of your day. You know, when he says your day, he ain't got a clue what one it is. Saturday? It's Saturday, isn't it? Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, people. That would be amazing. That would be absolutely lovely. But enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. We'll have a few streams.
Love's a lover, all the girls in every land of man to know. Joy of loving is to live in the world of man.
Go and play down your own end. And if you behave yourselves, I'll